H. Holmes, the devil in the White City. In the glittering glow of the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, millions gathered to witness the future. Electric lights, moving walkways, and towering architecture. But just a few blocks away, something monstrous was happening. Behind the walls of a hotel designed by a charming doctor named H. Holmes, dozens, maybe hundreds, of people vanished without a trace. He called it a hotel. The press would call it a murder castle. This is the terrifying story of a man who lured victims with charm and promises, only to become America's first known serial killer. Who was H. Holmes, born Herman Webster Mudgett? In 1861 in New Hampshire, Holmes was intelligent, charismatic, and manipulative from a young age. He studied medicine at the University of Michigan, where he allegedly experimented on cadavers, sometimes using them in insurance scams. After moving from town to town, leaving behind accusations of fraud and death, he settled in Chicago in 1886 and reinvented himself as Dr. Henry Howard Holmes. There, he built what would become his most infamous creation, a 3-story building at 63rd and Wallace Streets in Englewood. To the public it was a hotel, but Holmes had other plans. The Murder Castle. The building was bizarre from the start. Holmes designed and redesigned it constantly, hiring and firing contractors so no one saw the full blueprint. Inside were secret passages, soundproof rooms, staircases to nowhere, peepholes, trapdoors, and even a kiln in the basement. Some rooms were airtight and had gas lines connected. Holmes could asphyxiate guests from his office. Others had chutes leading to the basement, where vats of acid and surgical tables awaited. Many of his victims were young women who came to Chicago looking for work during the World's Fair. Holmes offered them jobs, lodging, and then they disappeared. He also defrauded and murdered business partners, lovers, and even children. Holmes was more than a killer. He was a predator, con artist, and pathological liar. The Chicago World's Fair. The 1893 Columbian Exposition was meant to show America at its best. Nearly 27 million people visited Chicago that year. Holmes capitalized on the influx. Tourists needed lodging and women needed work. His hotels seemed perfect until they stopped writing home. He preyed on the anonymity and chaos of the fair. People disappeared in a city already overwhelmed. Most went unreported. To this day, no one knows exactly how many people Holmes killed. He confessed to 27 murders, but many believe the real number could be over 100. His capture and trial, Holmes was eventually caught, not for murder, but for insurance fraud. He had conspired with an associate, Benjamin Pitezel, to fake Pitezel's death. Instead, Holmes killed him and then murdered 3 of Pitezel's children. It was the search for those children that led investigators to Holmes and ultimately to his murder castle. When police searched the basement, they found bones, hair, blood-soaked surgical tools, and piles of women's clothing. Holmes was arrested and charged with murder. At his trial, he remained eerily calm and charming, smiling, even joking with reporters. He was convicted in 1895 and hanged in 1896. His last words were, "I was born with the devil in me." Legacy and lies. Holmes' story has been embellished, sensationalised, and mythologized over the years. Some details, like the extent of his castle's complexity, may have been exaggerated by the press, but the truth remains horrifying. Holmes was a master manipulator, a killer who used intelligence, status, and charm to cover up evil. His case helped shape American crime reporting, inspiring true crime literature and even serial killer profiling. He became a boogeyman for the modern era, a reminder that evil doesn't always look like a monster. Sometimes it looks like a doctor with a smile. Closing, 11:30 to 13:30. Today, Holmes's murder castle is gone, destroyed by fire and eventually replaced by a post office. But his story continues to fascinate. In many ways, Holmes was a mirror of his time, a product of rapid urbanisation, a manipulator of new science and industry, a killer who exploited the American dream. He lured people in with promises of progress and delivered horror instead. In the end, Holmes wasn't just a killer. He was a symbol of what lies beneath the surface when progress races ahead of morality. Thanks for watching. If this dark chapter in history intrigued you, subscribe for more stories that dig beneath the headlines and into the shadows of the past.